What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Riley. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Before we get started, definitely like, comment, subscribe. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you're an old supporter, thanks for sticking around. Yes, I have changed my shirt since the last couple videos. I film a lot of different things on given days, but I also happen to like this shirt and wear it a lot. So, sorry for the repetition. Not that y'all care at all. Whew, a little dirty here. Anyway, I just finished doing major water cleans on everything in here today. So I'm a little sweaty and gross. Just did a bunch of morning cleaning. So I'm going to get cleaned up, and today I got to go get some crickets for the tarantulas and everybody. But don't worry, I'm not going to be showing y'all more inverts and stuff after the last two videos. It's pretty clear you guys don't really like watching that stuff, so I'll keep that to a minimum. But they still got to eat, so we're going to get them fed today. And I think we'll just take a look at some snakes finally, like I promised. So maybe I got an idea. We'll take a look at some of the Axanthic coastals a little more in depth. Most of them have shed. We're well over a month in, and there's still two holdouts that haven't quite shed yet, which is unusual. But the rest of them are shed and eating. So let's go take a look, and I'll show you how difficult it is to tell a het Axanthic from a visual, and maybe we'll just kind of talk a little bit about that sort of challenge. But otherwise, just a normal day for me. So I'm going to get cleaned up and we'll get into this. I love this shirt. Big shout out to Flagle doing some amazing Boelen's Python research. If you want to contribute to his research by donating some money, I'll put some of his information down in the description below where you can get in contact and help donate to some of his ongoing research. Ari's a fantastic author and scientist and reptile guy all around. He's been over to PNG. He's found Boelens in the wild. He's done a ton of research, nearly died from malaria a few times over there, and written a couple books all along the way. So, big shout out to Ari. Love the shirt, love the books, love the work. I'm going to plug in big time, so I'm going to put that information down below. Go give him a shout, give him a follow, send some money his way, and keep that research going. Now let's go get some bugs for the bugs, and check out some Australian snakes produced here in California. Before we go get bugs, there's a new Jamba Juice that just opened up. Ew. So that's what I'm having for lunch. Smoothie! Brain freeze. Oh. Yeah. Alright. I lucked out. Got the last cup of these tomato hornworms at the shop. So I'll be feeding those off to the pixie frog and the Savannah monitor. And then because some of my little spiders are so small, I got some flightless, try saying that 5 times fast, flightless fruit flies. So we'll be feeding some of those guys. Again, I'm not going to bore you with that because y'all clearly don't care about spiders. So, but we're back. I didn't take you into the shop. Too much going on. Kind of weird about filming in public anyway. Let's go look at some snakes. Let's take a look at some of these little coastal carpets, from a tiger het Axanthic to a visual Axanthic. We've already gone over this pairing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But this is a gorgeous little female. Very silver and white and gray, completely different looking from the hets, which are more or less normal looking. Now I'll pull one out right here and we can talk about the whole debate about the mode of inheritance in Axanthic, in carpet pythons. Now, Axanthic or anery in retics, hognose, ball pythons, like boas, everything is recessive across the board. So when Axanthic first showed on the scene, Axanthic, it's recessive. Both parents have to contribute, so it's pretty much the start. But now there's a lot of question because this is not a visual Axanthic. Let me hide my face out of here. This animal has a lot of browns and red tones compared to this animal. It's very silvery. So you've got two different color tones going on. You got more of like a silvery tone and then more of like a brown tone here. So still a pretty animal, but doesn't look like a completely normal coastal. I've seen a lot of different hets and visuals and combinations. Like these all have red in them, so like that could be totally influencing their look different if it wasn't in there. I mean, you can see that these look different. So het and a visual. Now, the crazy thing is anything that shows visual markers or has some sort of phenotype that is noticeably different from a normal in an animal carrying one copy, so not the visual, the heterozygous, this is homozygous. If you can see traits that make that animal look different and it's consistent across all hets, well then you have an incomplete dominant trait. It's the same thing with like, I guess we'll talk ball pythons here, like pastels and ball pythons. A pastel is the heterozygous single copy of the gene. A super pastel is the homozygous double copy. So if we were working under the assumption that Axanthics were incomplete dominants, then the hets would be a single copy, and you could call them Axanthics, and then the visuals or the homozygous ones like this girl here would then be considered like super Axanthics or whatever. Now, there's some inconsistency there, because obviously it's recessive in all the other species of pythons and whatnot. So it's still, you know, being widely discussed and debated. I go back and forth on it all the time. Hatching this clutch babies out has left me even more confused than when I started, because the visuals, unmistakable. The hets, some of them are very unmistakable, and some of them are kind of in-betweeners. Some of them, you know, they look reddish silver. I don't know. Again, there's red in these at play, so, you know, that definitely throws things on. Alright, here's another little beautiful Axanthic male. I think I'm going to be keeping this dude. I already have a bunch of hets and a visual female, but I think I need a visual male. And I didn't get all the striping that I wanted in this clutch. And I didn't hit quite as many visual Axanthics as I wanted either. But this guy has, you know, that little section that's connected there and a few other good looking spots. So I think he will stay to help bring in that striping influence by adding more of the polygenic trait that we refer to as tiger. Oh, you almost got me. So, these babies are doing well. Like I said, I'm going to keep this guy, and then two tigers came out. One female that's just really dark. Initially, I thought maybe she could be a visual, but I think she's just a really dark het. I think she's like a red tiger het Axanthic, and I'll bring her out and show you that little demon. And then the male with the stripe, I'm actually still waiting on a shed from. He's just taking a sweet time. I wonder if it's the heat. We've been getting some 90 plus, 100 plus days, and all the animals are kind of just hunkering down. So I'm wondering if that might be playing a role in why they're just not too keen on shedding right away. But they're almost all eating. There's only two that haven't taken for me. So, and they've even been eating before shed. So that's pretty neat. So, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I'm sure, you know, everybody has their opinions. And, you know, comment down below what you think. Do you think the Axanthic gene is recessive in your experience, or is it an incomplete dominant, or do you just have no idea like me? Because I've talked to folks who have been breeding Axanthic since they first came into the States, and they are pretty divided. Most of them still operate under the fact that it's a recessive, and you know, they have plenty of great arguments and examples of animals that, you know, lead that way, but there's something about some of these hats that it's kind of hard to ignore. So this is the best striped animal in the clutch. See how dark she is. See kind of that red underlay. And you can see why I was really confused. She's dark and kind of has that reddish tone, which doesn't mix well with Axanthics, just because Axanthic takes the xanthophores, which contributes a lot of that red and yellow tone. So I'm fairly confident this is a red tiger het, but because she's not going anywhere, I'm going to be observing her closely every shed. Her eyes are, you know, not consistent one way. They're silver with that blue sclera in the back, and I don't know. You know, I could be pleasantly surprised and, you know, find that she'll shed out a few more times and she does look Axanthic, so who knows. She's a fantastic eater, so I'm sure, you know, it won't be too long before we get a few more sheds out of her and can really get a better idea. So but yeah, she's not going anywhere, so I will patiently figure out what she is over time. But yeah, I'm going to be letting go of pretty much all of the other hets and all the visuals except for that male that I showed you earlier. There's quite a few people who have reached out to me with some interest in this project. It's really great to see folks taking notice in carpet pythons. A lot of folks coming over from the ball python world, the retic world, blending it with the boa world. Like, I think a lot of folks enjoy having their staple, and they're now starting to realize that it's okay to get into other things. You know, and if you work with one species, there's probably a few others that would complement that keeping style. So carpets do really well with a lot of keeping styles, so they're a great complement to, you know, most python keepers. So if you're interested in anything, you know, from this clutch, definitely reach out to me. Like I said, a lot of the visual Axanthic stuff I think is already spoken for, but things change. Can't hurt to at least reach out to me. So, but I'm going to try and make some more of them over the next few years. I'll probably repeat the pairing again in a year or two. And I've got a few female 2017 hets, tigers, real nice tigers, that are growing up. So hopefully we'll have those in the lineup soon as well. Why don't we just take a look at them real quick? They're really interesting. These females, well, the male too, but you've already seen him. They are tiger het Axanthics, but they're silver. So I don't know. I'll show you why this is confusing. Alright. So this is one of the females. So the sire to the babies we were just looking at is from the same clutch as these. Obviously these are females, so they're a little bit bigger. But this animal is silver. Now granted, this dorsal line has sort of that quintessential like tan cream coastal color, but even that looks rather muted. All this silver in here, gray, but they have dark eyes, which is, you know, apparently the tell. The hets or the non-homozygous animals will have darker eyes, and the visuals will have nice silver eyes. So we'll see. But this girl and the other one I have are growing like weeds, and so they'll probably be ready in 2 years, and we'll see what we get from those. I imagine because I'm playing with a lot of already set in place, you know, polygenic tiger with these, we should get better results once we start mixing some of these individuals in with that male and a few others. So I've got a good pool of the Axanthic tiger het stuff going on. So, you know, it's a long haul, especially when you're dealing with recessives and adding some polygenic stuff. You know, polygenic takes time to get really good refined phenotypes. So, you know, add a layer of that or two plus the double generation you need for recessive take time. So, but they're really sweet animals, and I'm really excited to learn more about this Axanthic stuff. So, yeah. So, that being said, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the support. Love hearing all the comments and feedback that everybody leaves. We just broke 6,000 followers on Instagram, which was pretty cool. We're a little over 1,100 subscribers here on YouTube, so that's fantastic. I appreciate that. A lot of folks are finding the channel, sharing it, and growing it with me here, so thank you to all of you. But leave a comment down below. Don't forget to tell me your thoughts on the Axanthic gene. If you work with any Axanthic stuff in carpets or other species, I'd love to hear it and your experiences. Gain more insight into this, you know, relatively new and still awesome and curious phenotype. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thanks for tuning in. I'm still trying to keep going with this consistent every Wednesday videos. So thank you. I hope you all are enjoying these, and rock on. Keep going strong and stay safe out there. Cheers. Gone.